Now, let us look at the different types of interviews used to select the right candidate for the right job. Informal interview. Now, what is this? Well, this is the type of interview that is conducted in an informal setting. The interview can be held at the residence of the managing director for the post of legal consultant. Similarly, many senior level job assignments are finalized during dinner at some hotel or restaurant. Then you have the formal interview. This is the interview that is conducted most commonly for recruitment of personnel. In such interviews, the candidate is called for an interview at a particular location and time. The candidate is required to answer questions asked, based on the outcome of which he is rated for selection. Another type of interview is called the patterned interview. To maintain a uniform approach, there are few interviews where a set pattern of questions are asked. In such patterned interview, the choice of person conducting the interview is restricted and the selection criteria are also limited within a set framework. Then you have the depth interview. In such an interview, questions are based upon a specific area of the interviewee's interest. In a depth interview, the person has to answer in detail. The academic competence and knowledge is tested thoroughly in such type of interviews. Then you have something called the stress interview. Well, for the selection of supervisor and executive positions, it is of equal importance to judge the suitability of individual competence based on stress endurance along with knowledge and intelligence. Therefore, a candidate is required to appear for the stress interview. In such an interview, a person is required to respond to a stress situation and the assessment is done on the basis of that particular person's response to that given situation. Then you have the group interview. When we are required, where we are required to perform a task in a group, the selection is done in a group interview and the candidate along with a group is asked to solve a particular problem. The performance and behavior is, however, assessed and rated individually. Your leadership skills are also tested in this kind of interview. So, group interview plays a big role when a selection process is to select the correct candidate for the right job. Then there is the panel interview. For a senior level position selection, a panel of experts selects the candidate. Personality and behavior traits are very important for performing well in interviews. Interviews at times become a hurdle between success and failure for persons. Just out of college, you have to present your competence for a particular job within a short period of 15 to 45 minutes. The candidate is assessed for his behavior, mannerism, attitude, IQ, stress, enduring capability, general awareness, knowledge of the subjects studied and mental frame of mind to take up the position for which he or she has applied. For a young student, it is important that he or she prepares well for crossing this hurdle. He or she must be ready for the competitive written examinations as well as for the face-to-face interview. Now, these are a few interview models we have seen, but there is one very important model which is called the telephonic interview, which we are going to see in depth right now. This is the most prevalent and widely used interview technique to select a candidate by the prospective employers. Let us see in detail as to what has to be done in order to come out successful in a telephonic interview.